team here at St John's. It's really nice to have everybody here for what is a very important day. We've got celebrations of the year 2005, their 20th anniversary. I know they were out last night, so there might be a few people with headaches this morning and more festivities to come. It is also the day we get our IB results, so that's the fun that I have this afternoon after you guys go off for further festivities. And thirdly, and most importantly of all, we are here to commemorate somebody who made a massive contribution to our school. He's just over my right shoulder. So shortly we're going to be renaming the sports field after Coach Jacobs. And I'm going to say a few words about him. Then we're going to cut the ceremonial ribbon. And then he's going to respond and say a few words himself. So, Dirk arrived here in 1983. To put that into context, Michael Jackson had just released his album Thriller. Ronald Reagan was in the White House. And what else did we have? We had Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, 1983. So, a few years ago. And it's great to have some of the other members of that team, Mark amongst them, who have also served over a very long spell of time here at St John's. Dirk arrived as a soccer coach in 1983. He also did track and field, a particular field, and then he moved into a 3-season coaching role. So many, many happy years, lots of time devoted to teams here at the school. In those days, the AstroTurf wasn't here when you first arrived. Yeah, there's been a few changes which you've been talking about, I know. Also, very, very important, he was involved in 70 ISST events, and they won the first place in the track and field during his time in charge. He wasn't just doing that wasn't enough. He was also teaching at one of the local schools, and he was a car driving instructor. But eventually, St John's saw the lights, and in 1991 he joined the team full time, and then went on to teach health and PE and health, going right the way through to running a couple of PE conferences here, and it's said of Dirk that he likes to see things through. You know, he's a man of quality, a man who's dedicated, and I think that's reflected in the football team that he supports as well, because there aren't too many Mechelen fans. I think there might be two. You and Mark might be the only two Mechelen fans. But I can see you're all laughing because they're not the most famous club in the world anymore, and yet they are the last football team in Belgium to have won a European competition. So you know he knows his stuff. He supports the right team. So, all of that long career, fondly remembered by so many people for the hard work he put in, the dedication he showed, and as a result, we've made the decision that we are going to rename this sports field after him. Dirk, thank you so much for all of you. Bravo! Romy, can you help us with that? And Jesus? Yeah, over to you to cut the ribbons.
Should we say a few words first?
Here we go.
Oh. Can I have the scissors as well?
A turn. Turn. Yeah.
Ready, set.
There's a bag that's seen some action, probably a bit of travel. That's got a few miles on the clock. Over to you,
Thank you. Amsterdam has the Johan Cruyff Arena. And now Waterloo has the Dirk Jacobs Sports Field. There's hardly any difference. No, seriously. I'm very honored and humbled with this recognition. This bag here of ICT patches pretty much sums up my career at St. John's, my coaching career at St. John's. More than 70 patches, not 70, but more than 70 patches, divided over the 3 sports that I coached, swimming, track and field, and soccer, of course. When I look back at the 38 years of service to this community, I look back with pride and gratitude. So many wonderful moments come to mind. Teaching the 9th and 10th grade PE and health classes with my dear colleague Linda. Rest in peace, Linda. Winning the overall IST track and field trophy twice with my fine colleagues Caroline, John and Bert. The first one was in 2008 in London, where we had the support of Dr. Dunges. I remember that he had calculated the final result way before anyone else in the stadium. Traveling to Cairo for swimming ISSTs and visiting the pyramids of Giza, the temples of Karnak and the Valley of the Kings and the Queens. Establishing a word council in St. John's together with my friend Jean, and working alongside people like Maggie, Dawn and Liz. Teaching new subjects like athletics, lifetime sports, making sure that all the 10th graders got trained in CPR, and ending my career as an IB sports science teacher. Having my 3 children go through high school here and seeing them shine academically and in theatre and sports. Benefiting from the holistic approach this school offers. Kenny's ISST record is still standing. 400 meters in 48.93 seconds. Wow. Spending hours and hours on the bus with Sam, Kate and Mark on our way to soccer matches in London, Paris and Frankfurt, where we had Käse mit Musik. Where's Mark? Käse, remember Käse mit Frankfurt, yeah. Hosting several ISST swimming and track, but also 2 ECIS PE health and PE conferences. One of which was during the Icelandic volcano eruption, which closed the airspace as a result. Does anyone remember the name of the volcano? The Eyjafjallajökull. Organizing a yearly Olympic village with my lovely PE colleagues at the deck of the school. Always a lot of fun. Chaperoning ski trips to the Alps, advisory trips to Barcelona, Verbier and the halve maan in Diest. Getting to know Romy in a different and a more interesting way than as a mom and a colleague. And before I get sentimental, I'll better stop here. I want to conclude with a thank you to Coach Eric Wouters and my dear friend Mark van Steenbeek for giving me the chance to work at this wonderful school. Thanks to all the people who have gathered here for me, and enjoy the rest of the day.
So I won't keep you long because the barbecue is nearly ready and people are probably pretty hungry, especially after a few drinks last night. But I just want to say a few thank yous to the home team who've responded brilliantly in preparing for this event. We had our first alumni occasion last year in May. Because of the 4th of July holidays, this proved to be really popular for those visiting from the States, and it's something we're committing to on an annual basis, so it's really, really great to have you here. When I first came here just over, it was nearly 2 years ago now, the thing that struck me most about the school was the quality of the environment, the warmth of the community, and your testimony to that. And it's great that we've got Dr. Dunges here as well, who's played a massive part in creating what we now see before us. So the thank yous are particularly to Jesus, Dr. Castillo, for his work. He's now in charge of the alumni. My PA, who's not here today, Deirdre, who's been doing quite a bit of the organisation as well. But there's one person alongside all the other the admissions team who are doing a great job and helping to fill the school up. There is one lady I just want to mention today because she's one of our unsung heroes. So she's the one who makes sure the buses are on time, makes sure all the people are on the bus who should be on the bus. She makes sure that the bills are correct when they go out. She's running the transport, running the catering. So she's responsible for feeding us and making sure people get the right sort of bills. Melissa, where is she? She's hidden. Oh, she's there. Right, there's lots of reminiscing to do. Please come and say hello to me. I'm fascinated by the stories that I hear of your time here and how this place has changed. We are continuing to develop the school. We're hoping the IB results will be the best in the school's history. We've got some great new staff, including a shy, retiring young man called Coach Hanavan, who's also been a very important man today. Green and white. He's the man who's been looking after the reintroduction of spirit wear. I was very jealous of Dr. Donges' very smart shirts, John's shirt he's sporting. So there's loads of fun to be had for the rest of the afternoon. Tours will be taking place after we've had some barbecue together. So really have a great time. Thank you so much for coming. And I look forward to hearing more about your time here at St. John's. Thank you.
The Visual and Performing Arts department is run by Mr. Graham. He is a performer himself. He performed in Broadway and West End, and he does it hand in hand with Mr. Gladden, who's an opera singer, and we are very, very proud of him. And then the arts department is run by Mr. Mitchell, who you might remember. Alan Mitchell. He still does community art show and he takes students to trips, and he really enjoys the art part of the school. Now here we had 3 musicals this year, one for primary, Wizard of Oz, Guys and Dolls for middle school, and Into the Woods for high school. And here we have all our assemblies, all our graduation parties, and everything that, it's a big event for the school. It's a wonderful place to be on the stage, but there are plenty of things off the stage that you can learn, and Laurent is up there always helping us. So, Laurent Lavignon is still here, he's still running all the lights, all the sound, and everything, and he's also running the boarding house now. So, now I will let Jesus tell you a few words from the history,
but
and
of
then
course. Okay, yeah. So, when I came here, I was impressed by this place, but the history of the place, the main protagonist of all of this is Dr. Donges. So I'm going to ask him to tell us just a few lines about the conception of the park and why did they create it and what they thought that it will be used for. Dr. Donges, if you would like to. Thank you.
And I'll tell you a little bit about the PAC here in just a second, the Performing Arts Center. But I also wanted to just mention some of your teachers and colleagues that you had and that are sadly no longer with us. So just to memorialize them, first of all, many of you had my wife of 53 years, Martha, in middle school. And I lost her 3 years ago. But also former teachers that are no longer with us. Serkan's mom passed several weeks ago, Linda Errol. Many of you had Patrick Tobin for your English B on your IB. Patrick passed away a good decade ago. Of course, Sister Barbara, and I'll say more about her in just a second. June Thompson. Some of you may have had her for biology. We lost her about 10 years ago. Nina Timar, French. She has left us. Francoise Perez. May she rest in peace as well. And of course, Rick Catherman, who was one of our coaches and business manager and parents because of his children, has passed. Dr. Miller, he died about 5 years ago as well. And there's probably, there may be some others that I have forgotten, and if I have, and you're aware, then, you know, by all means raise your hand and we'll certainly mention them. Because they were part of the legacy, they were part of the ethos, and we owe a lot to them. So, you know, may they rest in peace. The theater. This theater was the original vision of Sister Barbara Hughes. When the school was founded in 1964, Sister Mary John Shannon was the first superintendent. And she served in that role for 17 years. And she turned it over to Sister Barbara Hughes. And Sister Barbara was in that role then for the next 20 years. I came in and followed Sister Barbara, and I was here from 1998 to 2008. But at that point, Sister Barbara already had a vision that St. John's needed a performing arts center to really establish itself as an elite international school on the circuit, a facility that would have the wow factor associated with it. So it was her original vision, and basically she passed it off to me, and I sort of was in a situation then of being able to run with it. And my thoughts were, well, if we're going to have a world-class theater, we're going to also have some world-class labs, and we're going to have a sports arena. And so we packaged it all together, and we did the arena and the science labs and the cafeteria first, because those of you that were long-timers here will recall that the cafeteria used to be over here.
Running down there.
Yeah, you had to go out in the rain to go to lunch. That was something we wanted to fix as well. But we couldn't take away the food service facility until we replaced the food service facility. So we went with the labs, the cafeteria, and the sports arena as the first phase of the construction project. Then we turned our attention to the theater. And this theater is representative of St. John's, not just because of the fact that it's a part of the lore, but because it truly represents the concept of internationalism. The architect was Romanian, Stefan Boc. The construction company was Takanaka, Japanese. The subcontractors were Belgian and French. So that was an interesting responsibility to coordinate all of that. But obviously they all knew they were working on something special, and it worked out well. You may wonder about the little house that's over here Well, we couldn't build on this site and take over the old cafeteria as part of this site, which is where all the scene storage is now located, unless we owned that property. And there was a little old lady who lived in that house, and she didn't want to leave that house. And so we met with her, and I pitched a deal. I said, if you'll sell us your house, she was probably 80 years old at the time. If you'll sell us your house, you can live in it for the rest of your life, but we will own it, and you can live in it rent-free for the rest of your life. So that gave us the title to the property and the clear path to construction, because now we own it all. So she continued to live there for probably another 6 or 7 years before she passed away. That house is part of the campus now because of that deal that we struck with her many years ago. Now, when this thing was finished, I went to Kathy Swanson, who was our music director at the time, and Alvin Hayes, who was the theater teacher at the time. I knew what I wanted, but I knew I had to convince them that they could do it. And I said, I want to open the theater with the sound of music. And they said, oh, I don't know if we can do that. I want to open the theater with the sound of music. Oh, we can do it. And so we started putting everything into play. And Josh, your mom, even got involved because she got the habits for all the nuns that were in the movie, that were in the play, from a costume shop in Ghent, I think. So we prepared for the Sound of Music, a great cast. I don't know if there's nobody here probably today that was in that because it came right after you all. Okay.
I was a very supporting role.
Tree number 6.
So we did the Sound of Music, and it was a phenomenal success. It was a phenomenal success. It was a great production. Thoroughly enjoyed the play, as did everyone else. And then to finish it all off, absolutely everything I've been telling you is a true story. And so is this. The final comments. We walked out of here 10:30 at night. It was in November, and the whole time we had been in the theater, it had been snowing, and it was still snowing when we walked out. And it was like an amazing conclusion to an amazing evening to christen this theater, which then, since then, over the last 18 years or whatever it is now, has hosted many events, and they even did a reboot of The Sound of Music a couple of years ago. So, I'm sorry I rambled so long. That's the story of how this theater came to be. A lot of people donated a lot of money for its construction, and some of their names are on plaques outside here. But eventually, we got enough to do it, to pay for it, and it's still probably the best theater in all of Wallonia, and it certainly adds to the legacy of St. John's. Anyway, thanks for listening to me bore you, and glad you all are back. I want to say one more thing before I leave, before I sit down, because Andrew and I were talking about this earlier. This really is a special class. Now, you can say, he says that about it. No. The relationships here with this group, is the best I've seen. There's a lot there that goes back to the formative years when you were 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, and the experiences that you shared together and with me and with the teachers. And somehow you've managed to maintain that by staying in touch. Obviously the internet helps. Yeah, I can't say that about other groups. I mean, they're all good groups, but what you all have accomplished academically and athletic-wise and performance-wise over the years has been phenomenal. You've contributed to the legacy of St. John's, and I hope that you'll continue to do that and stay in touch over the years. It certainly draws me back every year. So, God bless you. It's my pleasure to be here with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming today. I hope you had a wonderful time, and I hope it brought a lot of memories back, and you have seen how the school keeps going on and keeps improving. We are very proud that you came back and we could host a little reunion for you. I hope you grab a pen when you go out just to have a souvenir from St. John's. And I wish you a lovely party tonight, as I understand you're going out. Come back whenever you want. Admissions will be always happy to open the door for you and to have a private tour for you and your families. Mom, dad, brothers, sisters, wife, kids, we are always here. And nevertheless, bring your kids at St. John.
Thank you. Make me cry.
Nostalgia.
And with this, we conclude then our tour. And we continue talking to people, talking with one another. We go back to the courtyard and we take some souvenirs and we continue the conversation on the way. Thank you so much for everything.